rely at the moment. That B site just split from drop, and well, the man who was just playing aggressively, taking the fight to his opposition, has just not had any luck so far. I may even want to see him pick up the AWP because he did do it in the previous matchup that we saw. And maybe that could be something that turns the tide, just give him a different weapon. They're actually ecoing again though. They've got themselves 5 players on the B site. I'm liking the fact that they do go for these stacks. The problem is they haven't really worked so far. They've done damage, but they haven't actually netted them around. But we'll see this time if the tide will change.
Yeah, already Relaxer and Makalady going to go down. Freddy trying to do something, but no, it's a slaughter in towards B.
No, it will not. Not even slightly. Zantares is 16 and 5. And I was talking about Paz, how he's not normally at the top of the scoreboard unless he's having one of those games. He's having one of those games. He's
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it,
6.
Calix is completely silent. Mage has got 1 frag. Engine's up on 8, which is uncharacteristically almost high in comparison to the rest of the guys on the team for him.
Is it silent if you don't get the chance to kill anyone?
No, that's true. That's a very, very good...
Let me go first this time. He's only died 4 times, and we're in round 12, so it's not like he's being taken down early on.
And while his Relaxer trying to hold long, does have the support of Freddy. Smoke's going to go down and keep Space Soldiers at bay. Calix through the smoke trying to find something. Oh, that was close, Calix. That was very, very close indeed, but it doesn't connect anything in the meantime. Makalele actually dispatches of Zentara, so they go ahead and take the man advantage this time for Red Reserve. And they've dealt with the beast himself. Zentara's already been eliminated early on, so less to worry about. The push looking to try and come in. Engine waiting on the corner with bated breath for a teammate to potentially flash him out, although he does have the bomb, so I imagine we're going to see someone else at long take the peak if they do decide to do so. Freddy now turning his attention over towards mid. They have the crossfire set up. Rotate's looking like it's going to come in from Makalele very preemptively. I imagine they're going to post him up by the double doors so he can rotate back over towards B if need be. And that does look to be the case. Space Soldiers rotating background. Very, very fluid in these rotates. Although the bomb isn't going to join them just yet. It's going to be on the back of Calix, still waiting over here towards A. So they might be setting up a very elaborate fake here, relying on the rotates to come off. But I don't know if I can agree with this. I mean, it leaves Calix high and dry all on his lonesome. If he goes down to Freddy, then this round could be over.
This is intricate to say the least, but we'll see if it works. So far, not so good. They've shown themselves on the other side, and the answer is a flat out no. Bomb down, no chance. Remaining 2 players just have to save their weaponry, and yeah, I think that was a little bit too much. I may be sending 2 players over there and having at least a chance for a trade, but it basically meant, as it did happen, if Freddy wins the duel over Calix, then that's it. They have no hope of actually getting that bomb down. There wasn't enough time. So not really a big fan of that attempt, and it's finally given Red Reserve a second, but it still sets them up either for the climb or the long, long fall.
Yeah, the buy for Space Soldiers not going to be featuring an AWP, which, you know, ever since having Engine kind of playing in place of Despot, I don't know what's going on with that, but ever since having him in, it's something we see them do a little bit more.
Don't need it.
Yeah, I mean, especially on this map, they work so well just going for the very, very fast pushes on in. Relaxer, he's about to learn this as they go charging over towards long. He will smoke it off, and it's proven to get him out of there time and time again. He will be able to fall on back. 3 players here for Space Soldiers. There are going to be 2 as well over towards that B-bomb site, one of them being Zentara's trying to take control of, you guessed it, looking like it might be drop down as he just waits on the stairs, now he's pushing on up. Will be the man to try and turn this around once again, while the rest of his team just work mid, make sure there's no aggression to come out. You can see that Paz is watching for anything out towards long and peeking every now and again to try and find something, but they do get smoked on back. The bomb's rotated around and joining up with these guys, the 2 top fraggers for Space Soldiers over here towards B. Makalele to find the first. Paz is going to be there as well. Does just do the job of decapitating him and now puts it back into a 4-on-4. They might just meet this now with aggression and go charging on out. Use the momentum they've gained to push towards the B-bomb site. That looks like it's going to be the case as the utility rains on in. Relaxer able to dispatch a Major out towards the A-bomb site, but now it's all eyes on the B defense. 2 players here to try and keep the Turks at bay, and while Engine opens up the first, Hampus, the player with very little to his name right now, to try and hold these guys back, and Calix going to shut him down. It's all on Engine and Calix. 7 HP between them. Freddy on a monster flank could shut this whole thing down. Calix going to be spotted out Freddy round in the corner. Spots the first, is going to go ahead and get him. Engine 1 HP and a dream to try and clutch this. Relaxer pushing in from drop, doesn't give him the opportunity and will eliminate him. Red Reserve go ahead and pick up a third round. But they've still got a long way to go.
Yeah, still money for Space Soldiers to buy back up. Engine starting this round with something like 13,000, so they won't have any problems whatsoever. Could still make the decision to buy an AWP, but they have decided against it. And that will mean there's 2 AWPs versus none. And they have been working so far, especially on Makalele. He has been the one man to start off a lot of these rounds. Aggression. There we go, Hampus. Only gets 1, but at least he's on the board. At least that can be a little bit of a confidence booster. And those are the sort of aggressive plays he was going for in the previous couple of matches. Another for Makalele as well. And Rusty adds to the detriment of this T side as they're unable to get out of this plant position. Finally looking like a counter has come in. The Molotov not spreading onto Makalele and the chicken coop, and as Rusty adds another to the death toll, it leaves just Major left on plat. Hasn't yet been able to retrieve the bomb, which currently sits on top of the box, which is almost just teasing him.
Everyone here for Red Reserves, including Makalele. Everyone wants Coop going to be the one who can be that first responder to Major on that initial peak. It's going to tag him down, and then Makalele lands a second shot. He will be eliminated, and that is Red Reserve to find themselves a 4th round. They can potentially bring this back to a 5-10 half.
Making it workable. Like, the thing is, they're getting to a point where it's not just the end. Because you talk about a sort of 9-1 scoreline, there's not really any coming back from that. Whereas this sort of 10-5, get yourself a pistol round, and you're not even that far behind anymore. So, and as a team that have been very, very good at winning the pistol rounds, it could make a big difference. Aggression, though, not working out for Relaxer. The start will come in for Engine, who's been having quite a bit of impact and will even spray through the door to do more damage to Freddy. Both players low. Support even returning around with Calyx coming back over towards that A site. Bomb at the moment still resides. Hampus, he's trying to use a gap in the smoke. Now Paz has actually sat just to his right in the little crevice, and he's got to be careful. See, Hampus actually just going to fall back. Trying to basically return onto that early frag that came in just moments before. But we are going to see a push out as well onto long A. A lot of damage already done to the players. Zontaras again will be challenging through drop. Paz is actually going to be blinded. Hampus still not really knowing he's in that corner and peeks out, but Hampus this time will be able to get the kill.
Yeah, now he finds himself back against the wall. 12 HP, going to be peeking right out into the watchful eyes of Major, who is there to trade things out. Look at this flank coming on in. Freddy in the backline, but he's only got 5 HP. He's going to be spotted out in midair. Major takes him down, and a bit of an unnecessary flank now gives that man advantage back to Space Soldiers. Engine's already secured the A bomb site, and down goes Makalele. Now it's all on Rusty. 5 HP to his name. Oh, that Molotov nearly got a little bit hot and spicy for Rusty's. Now he tries to close on in up towards balcony to make his way instead through the bird hole, and Calyx will just execute him. Completely denies any semblance of a retake there. A 4-11 scoreline in favor of Space Soldiers, currently 7 rounds ahead. Hampus, only 2 frags to his name, and you might look down at Major and you might say, well, he's only got 3 and Space Soldiers are doing phenomenally well, but
He got 2 in the last round as well.
yeah,
So he only had 1 up until round number 15.
the only thing separating them is Major doesn't need to get the frags right now, whereas Hampus, his team desperately need him. He's one of the players we look to have a very strong performance. But second half going to be beginning the pistol round underway, and it's going to be armor almost across the board with some utility bought up on Major for Space Soldiers and Relaxer for Red Reserve.
Actually, they've gone for a little bit more, as Engine has a smoke and a kit as well, but this is aggressive. Relaxer going to be pushing out. He's got the 1 pop flash, drop down being taken, but there's so many players just around that area. Calyx is just a god in the pistols, gets himself a double, but it's been traded back. Freddy looking for more, trying to tap away, a little bit trapped, but will be able to get out onto the A site, and he's escaped with the bomb, more importantly. If he'd been caught, that would have been the round done, and Space Soldiers winning it, but instead, he's going to be able to get closer to that side. I don't know if he realizes he has it, because he's still challenging close. This is risky, but he's got support from Hampus. Already starting much stronger on this T side, looking to try and do a little bit more.
Yeah, Relax is going to be the one to pick it up. It all falls under Zontaras. 1v3. Does manage to scooch his way in through the murder hole. Trying to find Hampus up close down beneath the balcony. Crab walking in beneath him, but no, Hampus going to execute him and shut him down there. That'll be Red Reserve to pick themselves up the pistol, and now they can start to close that gap. Space Soldiers on 11, still comfortably ahead, and they can still win out this force by here, but if not, Red Reserve poised to go ahead and take this to a 7-11 scoreline, at which point they then only find themselves 4 rounds behind Space Soldiers.
Yeah, Hampers as well, just on this T side, has been much, much better. A lot of the time he's been the person actually leading them through, so still a chance for them to turn this around. Winning the pistol definitely going to help. Space Soldier's still deadly in these sort of rounds, though, and Calyx actually going to be the one saving, so potentially he may be the one actually going for the ult.
The stack over towards B is going to go unheeded though, and it's already prompted the rotate back over towards A. Very willing to rotate these players. They don't spot anything early on, not a single bit of utility even thrown out from Red Reserve over there towards B, so they take the gamble, say why the hell not, and then rotate everyone in towards A. They do spot Relaxer, but he's on his lonesome, and it's going to be tagged away just a little bit. And now they hear Makalele firing shots up over towards Long. I feel like they're confident in the fact that they've made the right decision, and off the Red Reserve, they're going to be walking into the most stacked site. They're going to go walking on in. Players in every nook and cranny. They have to clear them out, and well, Rusty able to find the first, but it's Paz on the site with the dig. We've seen him do some dirty stuff with this in the past. He's on 2. There's 2 players here with the third rotating on round, and it's Paz to hold the site off. Bomb's been dropped out in the middle of it, and he's still alive and kicking. Trying to lock this one down. Finally, Makalele puts him to bed. And now it's Calyx and Engine, making that just Calyx as he watches Engine get impaled. Calyx with the Deegan, oh, Makalele firing on all cylinders, goes ahead and gets the 4K, picks up Red Reserve as 6th. And now they have a 7th lying in wait.
Yeah, this is reminding me quite a bit of what we saw in the previous match. Obviously, they weren't as far down versus Kingwin, but it was Makalele doing most of the work on the CT side, Hampers being miles behind and then coming back. Now, Makalele just 4K'd that round to pretty much save them from losing to that pistol. But now, double Mac 10, UMP, the chance to make some money. Calyx having a deagle into this second, so it looks like the money that he was saving, or what he was thinking he was saving for an AWP, may have actually just been spent on that deagle instead. But I suppose that's the decision you have to make sometimes. Go for those ones.
Hampus actually getting tagged down very low in that engagement. Calyx is here with the deagle, but doesn't get anything done with it as Relaxer does just pick him off. Oh, Hampus going to get executed by Engine. Engine just swooping in to save the life as Antares now leaves this in a 3-on-4. It's going to be a somewhat retakeable scenario here. There are still 2 SMGs there, so I'm curious to see if Space Soldiers do try making this one work. They would be giving money over to the side of Red Reserve, but that is going to be it, and they could potentially take some guns out of their hands. They might only have pistols, but they got the P250 on Paz. They have the Mac 10 on Engine, and Engine's able to pick one up with it. Now it's into a 3-on-3. Rusty going to be holding the hole in the wall and does pick up one onto Engine, but it's instantly returned by Paz. They're making this very expensive. Bomb time is going to be taken away. Paz will go down. Freddy's going to fall within the site, though, and now it's all on Makalele. 1v1. The bomb has already been too far gone. The AK's going to get picked up. Zintara's not going to save, but Makalele shuts it down. It's a team ace for Red Reserve. Everyone picking up a frag and pulling their weight equally. But now the buy comes in. That one, it was only Makalele left alive. The rebuys are going to cost them a fortune into this round.
Yeah, that should have been a clean one.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was up against so much less
maybe
than
like
what we saw in...
1,500 to $2,000 investment, costing tens of thousands of dollars for the T side. Just put to waste. They will invest into AKs this time. No Mac 10s even surviving. AWP did still reside on Calyx, so clearly the Deagle was based around the fact that he was able to afford it anyway. Calculated. And look at these 3 players currently around this long area for either side. This could be the perfect read. We are going to see the flash just completely blind all of the
Tees. I think they need to practice that one a bit more, but yeah, the push going to come on in. Calyx opens things up. Major going to go down, but Calyx holding the angle, gets a second. Looking for the third. Makalele does shut him down. Engine quick to find one elsewhere, though. Back into a 2-on-3. They return the man advantage in favor of Space Soldiers. Bomb is going to be picked up and retrieved by Makalele. He's trying to throw the AWP out the map, but he isn't. I don't think he realized he didn't get away with it. Instead, he's going to turn his attention onto the player in mid-engine. already was able to pick up one of these players, but Relaxer is there to turn things back into a 2-on-2. A nice equilibrium found here for Red Reserve as the man advantage cancelled on out. But now they just have to make up their mind. Where do they go? Is it going to be A or is it going to be B? And as they line up the smokes in towards the A side, it looks like they're going to go for an impromptu A play. The only player here is Zintares, but that's a tall order in and of itself. Him and Paz, the two players left alive. The ideal two you'd want in this scenario. Zintares just going to be holding the angle. Makalele goes running on round into his crosshair. He will go down. Now it's all on Relaxer. Bomb's been dropped. That's going to cause the instant rotate in from Paz. Relaxer first has to deal with Zintares and then has Paz to contest with. And Zintares, quick on the trigger, doesn't give him even the slightest window of opportunity.
And now the problems really start to begin. As we've already seen how costly the last couple of rounds have been for Red Reserve. And this is where the suffering of all those problems. Makalele, one of the only players to survive in pretty much every single round, will have one of the two rifles available. A UMP and two pistols will join the one other on Rusty. And seeing like early aggressions on Tara attempting to take down the players pushing into plant, but Makalele is enough to counter. Actually going to hand his AK off to another teammate. I like this as well. He's low. Give somebody else a chance with it. Major trying to take down one, but in fact is Relaxer through the smoke. Watches the spray and takes down the in-game leader of Space Soldiers, leaving into a 5 versus 3, but the T side with an advantage. Just force buy could have been their last-ditch effort. Instead, it could be their redemption.
Over here by drop. Currently, Red Reserve have two players poised and ready to head on in. Engine able to find the first, but Hampus is there to trade things back instantly. It is all on Calyx, 1 versus 4. Bomb is going to go down as they mop up everyone inside the B-bomb site. He's rotating in quickly to try and find something, anything. But as nothing presents itself, he will just fall on back and look to save up the M4. This is going to be an 8th now for Red Reserve. Poised and ready to try and forge this comeback. They are only going to be 4 rounds between them and Space Soldiers now, which is phenomenal when you think about the fact that there was a time where this was a 9-1 scoreline. Yeah. So
they didn't even look in the game at that point.
Yeah, and now they're very much back on the board. This is a hell of a lot closer. The economy of Space Soldiers as well going to be running low once more.
Yeah, because they just won a round and then instantly lost one back. So the epitome of being one and done. And that one rifle is now going to have to play a big, big part in what could be an attempted force buy. It depends how much money they have, if they'll be able to invest anything into the next round. The answer is they will not. So we're going to see pistols along with a UMP. Not anything too impressive. Calyx with the one rifle, and well, he's going to have to go big. We haven't seen too much of him. Wasn't really needed over on the T side as they were so dominant in that fashion, but well, maybe he's got a little bit complacent because they do need him on this CT side already. The deficit, as you said, is only down to 4. They win this one, there's another eco, it's down to just 2. And Red Reserve favouring this T side, Hampers especially. You never know, this comeback could be on.
Yeah, once again, Red Reserve stacked up outside the A-bomb site now, looking like they're going to try and push on in. That Molotov to hold back Zintares. Smoking up window. Going to hold back Engine, who now can't see anything. Doesn't have the crossfire set up with Zintares anymore. Can't come into assistance. Zintares, they're going to check the angle. He finds the first, but he's still got more work to do. And only on 8.
Oh,
he's still going to get it, though. 16 HP. He finds both Hampus and Freddy over a long pass. Going to be taking heads off with the CZ. Major chiming in with 1. Makalele, all that stands between Space Soldiers in the 13th round. He does get 2, but that is going to be it. And now Space Soldiers go ahead and pick one up. That all came down to Zintares denying that drop control entirely. He was only 18 HP, and he somehow gets both of those frags, turns it into a 5-on-3 almost immediately, and then we see Meta dealing with one of the players elsewhere.
As well,
yeah, so it was phenomenal stuff there. Now Space Soldiers find themselves back in the driving seat. The buy coming in from Red Reserve isn't going to be fantastic. 2 AKs, PT-50 and Deagle, and the AWP on Makalele to try and turn things around.
Early aggression Going back towards this long spot. Calyx flashed in. He's got a lot of players meeting him. Still manages to transfer onto Freddy. At least take one with him. Major, knowing there's quite a few players behind it. This is a risky push to take, but manages to get away with one. But again, it's traded back. Makalele with the AWP. And this is actually benefiting the T's more than Space Soldiers possibly know, because their weaponry is weak. So to constantly have players peeking in, trading, and just basically picking up rifles along the way means that they're now in a 3v3 with rifles, whereas they started with less than 3, or maybe even the same as 3 in the first place.
They're going to watch out. Paz is pushed up. He's holding the off angle. They were going to check it, but no. He's going to let them all cross. They all line up for him, but he only gets one. The reactions from Relax are enough to go ahead and get that trade. Now it's into a 2-on-2. Zintares to try and hold off the B-bomb site. 1 versus 2 until Engine can flank on round. The boost going to be coming on in. As they put Relaxer up with the tree, Makalele caught completely off guard out in the open, and Zintares goes ahead and takes them both. The double kill comes in. This man, this machine, he is going to go ahead and clutch out another round for Space Soldiers.
He's so calm as well.
I know, you wouldn't even know he's so damn good. He just sits there and he gets it done. Now 8-14, 6 rounds between Red Reserve and Space Soldiers. The gap has been successfully widened, and the gap between Space Soldiers and Map Point now looking well and truly within reach.
Yeah, the reset coming at a pretty much awful time. Nades doing a lot of damage already as they just run into drop down. They do actually get themselves a couple of kills. Tara's dinked as well. Okay, this is getting a little bit worrying. Calyx may just be the savior this time. Okay, guys, I'm just going to return some normality to the round and finish off all 3 players. 15-8, Map Point in what will be Cobblestone. Second map, Mirage, the pick of Red Reserve. But they got one more buy, at least, to try and fight this back. AWP will be dropped over. Actually, double orbs picked up, so maybe going for something a little bit flashy to finish this one. Something that we haven't seen so far, so it could catch their opponents off guard, but also very expensive. So if the win does come in for Red Reserve, there's a chance they'll be able to reset their opponents. But look at this from Paz, quick on the trigger. Relaxer's gone.
Yeah, this is something we see Paz do a lot, take the aggression. He only gets 1 from it, though. Now Makalele has an AWP to work with if he would like. Zintara's going to turn his attention over towards platform. Everyone rotating around over here towards B. Rusty going to shoot down in towards drop to try and take this location, but no Engine. He's holding on to it, going to look away just the wrong time, but Engine flicks back around. He goes ahead and takes all 3, and what the hell was that from that man? He's going to go ahead and clutch that out. Not clutch that, sorry, finish it off in that last round, carry them through, and win that map out. That was some phenomenal stuff. That flick from Engine at the end there was fantastic.
Both of them, yeah. The last 2 kills were just filthy, and I feel like there are a lot of plays like that in this game. The most ridiculous, obviously, courtesy of Zintares. That was
as you would
absolutely
expect.
Disgusting. And I feel like what we've seen from him this tournament is like just slowly building into it, getting better and better as he goes along. Because in the first few maps, or the first game at least, he wasn't really needed that much. It wasn't like one of those sort of mantle players we were going, okay, Zintares has to perform, otherwise they won't win. It wasn't really the case. It was Major actually having big performances. It was Calyx as well. In this game, there were so many moments where it's just left to him. A 1v2 on the site towards the end. If he goes down, anything could have happened. It was a 2v2 overall. That 1v4, which was genuinely just disgusting. I don't know how he managed to do it. I can't even fathom that he managed to do it. But there's so many very impactful moments in that game, and I think it was the difference. And on the other side, at least on the CT side, we didn't get to see Hampus, who was that sort of player. Makalele was still there, and he was still popping off in many moments, but it just wasn't quite enough.
Yeah, and one thing I was going to say is, you know, we kind of had Red Reserve pegged as a team that we thought could do quite well. Hampus being an individual that we said was going to step up in a big way. Obviously, he fell silent on that CT side. Did step up a little bit in the T side, you know.
Yeah.
Went the distance to try and bring his scoreline back. But one thing I was wondering is, do you think they performed half as well as they have done versus Space Soldiers? Or was it just that, you know, Space Soldiers were playing out of their minds? Or kind of a combination of the two? What?
I think with any, like, position where you go, that was an incredible clutch, you have to look at it at the other perspective as well and say, okay, how are they losing that round? And, and that's something I wonder if maybe the pressure has got to them, or just they're not quite playing as well, because that, like, even, I'm going to use that 1v4 as an example again. I've used it about 6 times already, but how does he even get to the point where he's winning that round? Like, that's what's worrying me a little bit, is that we wouldn't see those sort of mistakes. They were winning all of the clutches in their previous matchups. Like, obviously, it's going to be more difficult to win those sort of clutches when you're up against better opposition, but it's still scary the fact that instead they're losing even more dominant clutches against the likes of Zontares. So I think they definitely aren't quite playing as well. I've got to give props over to those players as well, because the things that they are currently doing are ridiculous. Like, some of the frags that they're getting are insane, but you have to wonder. I think they need to perform better, and I think, like I said before we even started the match, I do think they're going to have to hit another gear. Maybe not Makalele. I think he's definitely up to that sort of standard. We've seen it in this match.
100%.
But I think the rest of the team, if they're going to be able to win, they need to hit another gear, and they're going to need Hampers to perform.
Well, will they be able to do that? Let's find out as we head into the second map in just a little bit. But before that, we have to take a very quick break, so be sure to stick around for all that good stuff within a couple of minutes. What a way to kickstart the Grand Finals if you are a Space Soldiers fan. We just saw them win out 16-8 on a Cobblestone. Bit of an underwhelming performance there from Red Reserves, who up until now had been doing rather well throughout the whole thing, kind of causing a couple of upsets here and there. Now, heading into the next map, which is, of course, their map pick, that's over on Mirage.
Yeah.
As you said in the videos, they went ahead and played that safely. What are we expecting to see from them? You know, are you expecting to see them fare a little bit better here, or do you think it's going to be perhaps more of the same?
I think it's going to be difficult still. I don't think there's going to be any way that this will just be an easy walk in the park, moving on to their map pick, but it's clearly one that they're happy to play. I do wonder if they had the first pick, if they would have gone for Cobble as well. I kind of have a feeling that they would have done, so I still feel like it's sort of maybe a second or third map that they want in their pool at the moment. But at the same time, they've been looking good overall. The thing that's a little bit worrying is the fact that it's only really been Makalele stepping up in the last match. It was a very quiet performance from the rest of the team, especially when looking at Hampus. And although we seem to be like railing on him a little bit, he is such a pinnacle part of the team.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a big deal if he was someone who was sort of mid of the board and didn't really have too much impact. It's a big deal because he's the man that we actually look to pretty much go alongside the stand-in of Makalele and be up there at the top. So we're going to need to change the way things have been going. Also, on this map in general, you look to Catalyst Orpers, you look to big players to step up. Now, I think Freddy was actually one of the players who did very well on this map previously. And we're going to look to see whether or not Relaxer can do well with that AWP. I think he's definitely one who could make a big impact. Not going to get the choice of side starts, though. So it will be Space Soldiers with the knife. And now we get to see where they're actually going to opt to stay. Now, I reckon they'll probably go for that CT side, but they've had a lot of strong T sides in the last few maps that we've seen, so you never know. They may take a little bit of a gamble, try and set the pace of the game, take the fight to their opposition, and they're going to stick with this CT side. Now, I'm interested to see whether or not the pistol can go the way of Red Reserve. I think that could be a good boost for them. Unable to really do too much in the previous map. I think it's important that they start strong in this one. In terms of the buys, full armor across the board for the T side, so potentially something quite quick. And the CT's somewhat similar, but Engine actually going to go for an HE, which is interesting because normally you see a smoke alongside the kit just for the defusal.
Oh, Engine's already been tagged down so low, goes in for the jump peak for info, and he's really going to be down to 9 HP. The aggression does come out in mid from Zentares, but he's been forced on back. Didn't find anything on the back of it either. Does just get relegated down over towards connector. Has Paz nearby to try and help him out. And Red Reserve, they found damage early on. Engine's already limping around on 9 HP over there towards the B-bomb. Like Paz can quickly rotate off short. And as the bomb makes its way in through T-spawn, if they make any noise, Zentares, who's aggressively up in top mid right now, he'll be able to hear all of this. And he's such a bold, daring player for even being here right now. I mean, we just saw him take the duel and get tagged down, and he's gone straight back. But lightning never strikes twice in the same place, as he learns right now. Currently been given free reign at top mid because Red Reserve in with the push out towards the A-bomb site. They find Major straight away. Calyx going to be hiding in the corner. They are going to have to spot him, and they do. Suddenly he's fighting for his life, but somehow he takes two with him before he goes down. The man advantage quickly turned in favor of Space Soldiers here. Now, Engine's only on 9 HP, but there's still Paz and Zentares, which is a different beast altogether to contend with. Coming in on the flank, it's going to be Zentares from earlier on. Made his way all the way around through top mid. Now on ramp, he finds the first out of Relaxer. This falls into the hands of Makalele. 1v2, trying to clutch us out, takes the peak, and Paz gonna take his head clean off. Space Soldiers to find themselves the pistol, despite what looked like a fantastic start there from Red Reserve. The turnaround was the man on site, Calyx.
Yeah, I don't know how he's so good at pistol rounds. He always seems to get two, if not more. Oh, no, not again. Please. Please, I beg of you, don't slow the pace down of this game anymore. It's just cursed at the moment. We're going to lose a player from Red Reserve. The AWPer is gone. He's going to have some time to relax. Yeah, this is what we got down to at this point. This is the level. Expecting the T-side just to save their money and go for the AKs in the next round. It would be quite a ballsy play, to say the least, if they were to purchase up in this round, and especially when you look at what's been purchased on the CT side. 3 rifles, couple of UMPs. Obviously, the T shouldn't know that. I'd be a little bit worried if they did. Maybe if somebody went over to the other side to help with the PC or something like that, but I suppose it's actually one of them who's got the problem, so that would be a bit odd. Relaxer back in the server. As said, just going to invest a little bit into some pistols, make sure they have a chance to do a bit of damage. Main aim of this round will be to get an extra bomb plant, give them a higher chance of being able to afford that AWP. But Relaxer, I think he's just diminished that chance. He wants to buy some armor in this round, so clearly not willing to save up for that AWP. But it has been interesting for them that they normally go for it in that sort of later stage. And there's a lot of damage. Paz just spraying away at the moment. Able to do an awful lot. It will be finished by Major. Yeah, what I was going to say is it's actually on the T side, Makalele is the one picking up the AWP a bit more. So not going to see it. They will get decimated by Paz. They drop a couple of players, but the rifles will still be saved, and it means that, if anything, Calyx could actually buy another one, expecting a buy to come in this round, and he will do just that. Engine the only one, but they haven't actually built up any real money yet if they are to lose this round. So still a big chance for Red Reserve to reset them early in this game.
Yeah, and straight away we're going to be seeing Hampus over towards mid, watching for any early aggression. He's been allowed to cross on out, and actually, there are two players here, both just trap it. They have the crossfire set on out. Paz and Zentara's down in mid with Major in with that crossfire. Now they're going to both rotate up through connector. This means everyone is out on the A bomb site, and little do they know it, but Red Reserve about to walk into an incredibly large stack. And well, Engine's here with the UMP. They check the angle, they think it's clearly finds two on the back of it, and now the damage being done by Zentaras and Calyx in the blink of an eye. It's all on Makalele out towards a 1v4. He does have Hampus, but Hampus is miles away. Makalele's able to find one. Does put it back into a 1v3 for him for the time being, and it's the flank coming in from Hampus, which could prove to be huge, as now it gets put back into a 2-on-2. Paz goes down, Major and Zentara is all that remain, and luckily Makalele did have that bomb, so he can look to get out of there. Hampus actually putting in work, going to drop Zentaras out of the equation, leaving this in Major versus Makalele. Now Major's very, very good at getting the high impact frags, maybe not the one we look to get the most, but we've seen him clutch things out time and time again. Makalele has had a lot of success.
Well, he's been the king.
He does get spotted, making his way to the site. Major knows exactly where he is. Going to go for the spray in through the box, trying to do some damage. Doesn't find anything. The peek comes out, and oh, just tapping away. Makalele walking into the stream of bullets to make it nice and easy for Major there. The defuse is going to come on in, and that is Space Soldiers to find themselves the third. The money on Red Reserve is going to be near on non-existent.
Yeah, they will. There's actually a chance they could have a buy, though. It wouldn't be particularly good if they went for it. From my perspective, there's that temptation. Just because they did so much damage, they get a bomb plant on a 2,400 loss bonus. But they're not going to go for it. They're not going to take any risks here. I want to play with their buy. They will still invest down to that sort of $2,000, so you can talk about the bomb plant actually having that level of impact, as it will enable them to get something on the board. And it looks like they're actually going to set up for this A hit yet again, and considering previously there was 4 players here and they still managed to almost win the round, that's ridiculous. This time though, Hampus, he's not going to have any presence over towards mid, so it's all going to rely on this push into the site, and Calyx has already started with the AWP, looking for more, just sitting at the back of the site, but the bomb looking to go down in the smoke, and it will succeed.
I actually want to find Zentaras in the meantime. Calyx chiming in with one, but there's still
succeed.
Yeah, the bomb doesn't get planted at the end. Calyx would have dropped the bomb planter at the last second. Now it's all on Relaxer. Major comes in from CT and mops up both the frags necessary.
He must have got him at the very last second. I
right
think we switched away. Well, that's unfortunate, because that would have made quite a big difference considering they invested. They will still have all the utility anyway, but they could have potentially had an AWP. And as said, Makalele was picking that up previously on this map. CT side, not going to have any problem. Major looking a little bit confused. We'll go for a little bit of early presence over towards the A site. This could be down to the fact that we've seen the T's go in that direction so far in this round. Paz playing very aggressively, though, going to be caught out by Relaxer. And this time they get away with that man advantage early into the round.
And this is a good start here for Red Reserve. They've got 3 players over in mid. It's Rusty pushing on up through lower tunnels. They could deal with this threat and connector. Zentara is looking to try and peek on out. It's going to be peeking his way. Rusty gets caught looking completely the wrong way and has no one there to trade him out. So the man advantage is going to be equalized here on the back of that frag from Zentara's. And now that bomb is going to be rotating over towards B. Freddy And Makalele both in tow as they set up for a potential B-side take. Only Engine here to hold this back. Rotate's already coming from Major. That flash is going to miss its mark, and that's whittled away at the clock. The rotates can come in whenever they can hear all the footsteps now charging in towards the site. So we're going to be seeing the rotates come in from Space Soldiers. Hamper's going to be the first man on the scene to try and make a difference, but it's Engine in the corner to find one. Takes two. He's not done just yet. Still alive and kicking. Centaurus is here to back him up. Spots out Makalele, but Centaurus is going to execute him. And that's the B-hold. It's steadfast, and it works out brilliantly. We see, even in a 4-on-4 with equal numbers pushing in towards that B-bomb site, they get completely decimated. Space Soldiers now 5-0. It's Rusty this time, someone who is doing very well back on Cobble, still yet to find a frag in the first half.
Yeah, and it's interesting because if you look at the positions that were actually taken in that spot from Space Soldiers, if the man aggressive doesn't sort of call that rotation, they have no one else over towards B, so just a nice little read there, quick rotations, and they are able to deny a round from Red Reserve, and already taking the challenge over towards mid. Paz has been super aggro so far, but a lot of the time it's actually worked in his favor. Engine will be taking a man over towards those B apps as well, and as they push in one by one, it's just not working out at all individually. Unable to do anything with these pistols. Rusty in a decent position, but nope, the love will not be returned as Antares takes his head clean off and leaves Relaxer. It's the last man left alive. He's going to spam a few shots away. Maybe able to catch one at least. Okay, Major will go down. That's something, at least making things a little bit more costly, but they know exactly where he is. The nade going to drop him down to just 6 HP, and the second will be there to finish. Space Soldiers comfortably take another round. 6-0 and up. And, well, maybe a pause needs to be called, but they've got a buy. Makalele even got the AWP.
And I think we've had enough pauses.
Yeah, maybe a tactical pause.
No, yeah, I know. It is going to be the AWP for Calyx in a use. Everyone from Space Soldier is going to have everything they could possibly need. A Red Reserve in need of a change of plan. Perhaps that could occur in a change of pace, as we can see two players over towards B early on. Out in mid, we've got Relaxer. We have Makalele there as well, playing it passively because they know that Zantares has been going aggressively out through mid time and time again, but this time it's Paz who's looking a little bit curious. Has Engine over towards short to try and trade things out for him, and it's going to be Engine pushing on up, the one to try and take the duel. Just as he does so, Makalele going to unscope, takes the engagement, does find one, but it's Paz to instantly turn the advantage back in their favor. Collapsing on down, raining death from above onto Rusty. Bomb trying to rotate back around. Major goes aggressive and gets caught off guard as a result. That's uncharacteristic of Major, especially. He will fall over in T-spawn, so it's back into a 3-on-3. The opportunity has been given to Red Reserve. Calyx is going to chime in with one on the Hampus, though, as he's looking to try and rotate out. Zentara is going to be tagged down at 33 HP out towards the A-bomb site. Look at where Paz is. Look at where Calyx are. Both these players going aggressive. Whilst that's fantastic, it leaves a lot of pressure on Zentaris, who is going to fall within the site. And that's it. They decide to go speedy on the rotate. They can't be making their way around through T-spawn. Instead, they're both going to barrel in through mid, but they've let the bomb go down. Into a 2-on-2 we go. The players on the site aren't necessarily in the best spots to trade out for one another if these players take the engagements from short, but as long as we see Freddy just hide behind the boxes, but he will be forced out into the open. This is where that positioning does let them down. Makalele is going to be spotted as well. They know exactly where he is. Paz takes the duel, but Makalele quick on the trigger, finds the first, but Calyx not going to give him the satisfaction. Takes his head clean off, and that's going to be Space Soldiers presented now with a 7th.
Beastly. Yeah, and decent positions as well. That Molotov was just clever, though. Just forcing out the Freddy, bring it into a 1-versus-1. 007 now hits with Rusty as he joins the Secret Service, and again, it just seems like we're seeing a few players just maybe even just have problems under pressure. I don't know what it is. We've not seen anyone just sort of tank this bad for Red Reserve as of yet. We will see a pause come into play. The bomb going down enables another buy, even an AWP if they want it. It would have to be without head armor, but that wouldn't be a problem. Or Freddy would have to play without head armor if he's to drop that AWP. Makalele actually able to have a bit of impact in that round, but sort of that clutch situation, and he's been in a couple now, and again, even he was winning all of them before. Like, there were so many rounds where they shouldn't have won in previous matchups, but this is something that we spoke about when talking about gatekeepers earlier, that it's much easier to go for these sort of clutch plays and these influential plays when you don't have someone as heavily aimed or heavily aim good, I guess. I couldn't even think of a word off the top of my head, but so good at their job, I suppose, on the other side,
Yeah.
unlike me.
Yeah, that was good. That was a nice vocabulary there, Tom. And it's going to be a...
I used it all up earlier.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Red Reserve, they've got 5 players over here towards A. Just all stacked up over by ramp. No one even up towards Palace, and that's going to be very beneficial if your name's Engine, as he just currently lies in wait. No pressure from the eventual push in through Palace. It's going to be Major and CT to try and hold these guys back. Engine just goes and touches faces with Freddy. It's going to fault the first hurdles. Freddy, he's had enough. Entry fragging in towards A, picks up both frags necessary. It's Zentares to roar into action to try and answer back. Picks up the first. Does do some more damage, but it's going to be forced on back because of the utility, and that means the bomb will go down into a 3-on-4 in this retake. The push coming up through Connector. The utility usage is going to be pivotal to keep these guys at bay for as long as they possibly can. I tell you what, Zentares, he's not a fan of these Molotovs. As things get a little too hot and heavy for where he is. He's tagged down to 20 HP on the back of the Molotovs alone, and that's going to be them just falling away. There's only 20 seconds left. Not enough time. Held out the site for far too long, and they just decide to play things safe. Save up the AWP and the 2 rifles, the $20,000+ worth of investment, and just take that into the next round.
Yeah, important that they're able to just basically reduce some damage. Relaxer almost loses his life. And actually, Paz will take down Freddy, so making things a little bit more costly. Freddy having a big round as well, just barreling out onto the site, doing immense work. And then with all 3 players rotating in from the same angle, there wasn't really much of a chance. Still, we saw Space Soldiers actually use their utility very, very well, just clearing a lot of angles, actually forced 2 players out of position, but unable to catch either meant that the retake just in a 3 versus 4 was impossible, as they still didn't really know where any of the players are. Either way, same strategy again. A smokes. It's basic, but if it works, then why not try it again?
And then there's Zentares opening things up. Rusty, the first man to go down. And Reserve, they might be a man down, but they still look like they want to go to A, and that Molotov going to flush them out somewhat. Unless you're Freddy, in which case you just perish in the fire and flames, and at which point the bomb now dropped out on ramp over by Tetris. It's not looking good. They have to push out if they want to go and get it, and that's going to open up into the crosshairs of Zentares, who is going to be found by Makalele, but there's still players here. Major over in towards CT to try and hold these guys back. The rotate's coming in through Connector. They've also got to contend with Engine, who's just still waiting on a scaffolding. He hasn't pounced out just yet. He's letting them cross. Now he roars into action. Suddenly Makalele gets caught off guard, and he goes down as well. Space Soldiers play that perfectly. I feel like a lot of teams, they would have just had Engine go for the push to try and cover Major, but they realized let them push into the site and just have him wait. You can rely on Engine to get a couple of frags in that position. They knew that they had Paz on the rotate around up towards stairs as well, who could have relieved the pressure from Major. So they play that perfectly. And in such a Space Soldiers way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they're clearly very calm in the way they're playing this final at the moment. 8-1 up. Forced by him for Red Reserve. They need to make something happen now. They are going to be in an eco situation once again. Rusty, Relaxer, the 2 rifle players, the remainder with pistols, a little bit of utility onto Hampus. Paz going to be going aggressive again in middle. Doesn't quite manage to finish off Makalele, but does enough damage to at least make things temperamental for him. He'll have to fall back into middle, let the rest of his teammate make these more aggressive plays. Hampus getting pretty close to Engine, who's just going to be holding this angle the second his opponent comes around the corner. Will Engine want to go aggressive himself? That's the real question. No, he will not, but he's not going to win the duel anyway. Hampus able to find that first kill for his team. A minute left on the clock. Still not quite dedicated to either of the sites, but the bomb seems to be making its way back. The player that was originally in apps is also rotating back around. So it seems like they're going to look to head towards A, but they do not have a single smoke. No angles will be covered. Calyx and CT with that AWP is going to make this very difficult. 1 Molotov, 2 flashes, and 30 seconds.
Yeah, especially when you look at it, Zentares now rotating around into the site as well. It's going to be made that much more difficult. And Zentares and Calyx between them find 2 straight away. It's just a shooting gallery at this point. And well, Calyx is making some art on the site, spraying blood left and right. Rusty's able to find 1 down in mid onto Major. Calyx has to try and deny the bomb plot with only 8 seconds left. Just has to buy time, holding off CT, but it doesn't matter because Paz finds the frag on a Rusty. And then Calyx strikes as well. They continue soaring forward as they pick up yet another round. Red Reserve only with one. It's not looking good at this point.
Yeah, I think this is fast not looking good. This is somewhat tragic for Red Reserve. 9-1. Money reset once again. And we all are just waiting to see if there's any sort of return. Zontares, he's going to start things off. Able to at least get himself a kill, and while this is already just looking problematic, the lineup comes in, they will get one, but the Molotov is just going to do enough. And it will be cleaned up in this round, 10-1 up. And while now, they finally get themselves another bye. Double AWP setup invested into this round for the CT side. Something they actually haven't brought in too much on Mirage, at least. Calyx just about winning the duel as well versus Relaxer. Freddy in a decent position, but he's got to try and return. Already Major getting another one, and this is just another shutdown round. Rusty and Makalele, the only two left, make that only one. Makalele trying to do something here, but he's already been spotted down to 8 HP. Cleanup will come in. And that is the round over. This is just looking dominant at this point.
I mean, we were hoping for a close final, Tom. And this map has been anything but. And sadly, it could be Red Reserve's last map. It's very, very fast looking that way. They have to go ahead and try and get... I mean, an 11-4 half isn't even good, but that's the best they can hope for. Right now, they're on the force. It's Deagles across the board to try and make some magic happen. They are completely crushed. Maybe the pressure's got to them. Maybe Space Soldiers are just on a tear. And they get some sort of middle ground somewhere in between the two. And well, right now, Red Reserve stacked up. Two players outside of B, but they're just waiting passively. And look at this from Major. He's gone all the way up through T-spawn. There are players here to deal with this. Freddy should be keeping an eye on this play from Major. But it is going to go unchecked. And as a result, they rotated everyone over towards B. He's got so much information on the back of this play that they can afford to rotate everyone in towards the B bomb sites. And Tara's on the flank. Doesn't even get the chances. He cuts them down before they get even in towards B. And now it's the three remaining players for Red Reserve just displaced. About to be dismembered one by one. Freddy first to go down, Rusty going to fall over a short, and now it's all on Makalele, 1v5, fighting to try and stay alive. Does pick up the first onto Paz. And while he's got himself the Deeg, he's over in mid. Spots out that player across him, but no, Major's going to fire a singular bullet downrange and decapitate him. And it's really not looking good at this point. I mean, 12-1.
I think not looking good is the understatement of the year.
Yeah, the buy can come in at least. That's the silver lining. They're going to get the AWP up on Relaxer. Rifles across the board for everyone else, but that is literally all they have.
Yeah, the thing is as well, the Relaxer wasn't really AWPing on this T side before, and maybe we could see why. Calyx has already ended his life. Engine looking to take the peek over towards B. Apps as well. Waiting for a player to push in. The peek will come out, actually do quite a lot of damage. He's just going to look to fall away with this AWP. Molotov gone down. We'll throw a smoke in behind it. Looking difficult to escape at this point in time. Nade will go in. Not going to do a huge amount of damage as of yet. Hampus looking to try and be a little bit sneaky around this smoke. Zontara's on the other side. Actually caught with a Molotov in hand. It's possible that he'll be going down. Doesn't know there's a player as close. Actually, Hampus will catch his legs, but that's about it. The man will still be standing. Paz as well. Oh, he's just going to be close. Makalele waiting. Trying to play patient. They've got under a minute left now. Yet to really make any headway in this round.
And they're going to try pushing in towards B. They got to watch out though, because waiting with bated breath, it's Paz, and he wants more kills. Only going to be able to get one as Makalele swift on the return into a 2-on-3. We might be able to see Red Reserve find a second round here. It's the best chance they've had in quite some time. Zentara is going to be hot on their heels on the flank. Major taking a very lengthy rotate in through T-Spawn, leaves Calyx all on his lonesome to clear out shop. With Zentara's being so low, Major should be able to trade out that frag. They're going to have to use him to try and probe his way in. He should be able to find anything or get anything done. And yeah, Zentara's goes down, but doesn't really get the info. Freddy finds him. Not going to expect Major to be there as well, who just, silently 2 taps him in the back of the head. Now it's all on Makalele. 1 versus 2. Spots the player out now. But has to worry about Calyx. He's mid-air, but somehow still fighting for his life. But no, Calyx shuts him down. It was looking like they might have been able to get a second round. It's not the case. Space Soldiers just completely ruining them here. It's going to be a 13-1 scoreline. Tom, we were hoping for a close final, and this could be anything but.
I think this may be the most one-sided map of the tournament, and it really is looking that way this far. It just seems like everybody on this CT side is just on this map, playing very, very well, and well, peek out, run across, the shot baited, Calyx will be missing, and it does give them some control over towards middle, but already damage done. In the meantime, Makalele is going to go down with the assistance of Zontaras. And they're already a man to the worse. Even when they get one back, the trades are just so instantaneous. Hamper's still around this smoke. Will actually be able to catch Paz, giving them a chance. Still around this middle section at the moment, going to be boosted into window, but Zontaras is just waiting for this. Looking for more, looking to pad his stats further. And even when given the opportunity, Rusty is just not able to connect.
Oh, spots out Engine. It's going to go do the job of decapitating him. But the bomb's been found over in top mid. And just waiting in the wings there is going to be Major. He peeks on out, has the crossfire set up with Zentaras, and that'll be the round going the way of Space Soldiers. 14-1. The pistol round alone decides the fate of this game. And there they are. Deflated. Probably, a little bit upset with how this has gone. I mean, I feel bad for them. We saw them fight so incredibly hard to get here. They beat teams with countless, leagues, tournaments of more experience than what we see them have. They played up against people who I don't think we would have imagined them beating in quite some time, and they did it, and they've managed to make it into the finals. And now this is the result: 14-1 versus Space Soldiers. Space Soldiers now over on the T side, a side that they're so at home on. And the pistol round literally decides the outcome of this game.
Yeah, well, even if they do win the pistol, I think this game has got a long way to go before we can even call this a comeback. Rusty taking a little bit of damage through the woodwork. Bomb still sits in back apps at the moment. CT side playing around the sort of 2-1-2 split. T's really just waiting. I think they're expecting some sort of aggression to come out from the CT side, but they're playing very passively at the moment. Furthest forward position is actually Firebox, and other than that, we've got a player in middle. Freddy dinked down. The push now comes into B.
Oh, Makalele going to be chipped away at. Him and Freddy, 12 HP between them. Trying to hold on this B bomb site all on their own. Space Soldiers been boosting players up into window. Zentara is trying to make his way up through connect. They haven't even committed to B yet. They've just done a boatload of damage. And Engine, as he finds Freddy in the B bomb site, down goes Makalele as well. That's the B bomb site just cut in two. Paz going to dispatch of Hampus in the meantime. Rusty trying to rotate on round, about to be caught off guard by Zentaras. Only on 2 HP. He's trying to prevent the rotates. If they can find him, then this could be turned around, and they will. So it will be a 2-on-3 in the retake. Engine just waiting on the cinder blocks for the rotate in through Murder Hole. Not going to find anything as both the players now look to head up through short. They have a fuse skit. They have a smoke. Could that be the recipe for success in this pistol in the second half? Calyx up in apps. Everyone in Red Reserve just having to sit back and watch what is probably the most crucial round now of this whole tournament for them. And well, Engine going to come on through. The Dream Killer finds both of those frags, prevents Red Reserve from securing that one. And that's going to be Space Soldiers at match point in the grand finals. One more round is all it takes for Space Soldiers to pick this one up. They wanted to prove to us that they could do it, and my God, have they. 15-1 right now. They've got a full buy on the cards. Red Reserve have nothing really when you look at it. upgraded pistols here and there. Deagles, some utility and armor. Space Soldiers have everything they could possibly need.
CT side gambling a little bit. Majority of the players sit further towards this A site. A little bit of aggression out towards ramp, but there's a lot of players just playing patiently at the moment for this T side. Trying to make sure that nobody can get in or around their back lines. And this patience is going to be key. There's no utility to slow down any of these terrorist players. There will be one player spotted into middle. Still only one in B, but playing more of a spotter role. Freddy just going to wait back, and if anybody comes in his direction, just call for reinforcements. But Major looking to clear angles. I think he may have just spotted the corner of Hampus, but he's got to be careful. He'll peek around the corner, get the first. Freeze looks for the second, but can't quite convert. Still doing a lot of damage already. And now it looks like they are going to be pushing into what was originally a stack, but there's only 2 remaining.
Yeah, Rusty trying to do all he can with the CZ, does do some damage, but that's going to be it. Peeks on out, realize everyone is there now, trying to duck back in through Connector. Makalele and CT, it's all eyes on him to try and hold these guys back. Major does fine. Rusty, the rotate comes in from Freddy. He goes down. Space Soldiers about to win this one out, and Makalele is going to fall. That is it. Space Soldiers, they do it. They win out the finals 2-0 in their favor. And on Red Reserve's map pick, they go ahead and take it 16-1. A fantastic performance from them. But they set out to prove to us that they are a force to be reckoned with, and they did exactly that. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, I do think we have to give props over to Red Reserve, though. They've had a very good tournament. They've knocked out one of the invited teams in Fnatic Academy. They went through Kingwin as well, another invited team along the way. So they have had a good performance throughout. They've shown that they deserved it. But the winners, of course, the team that absolutely decimated them in the final, is going to be Space Soldiers. And maybe Kingwin is still trying to steal that trophy away, because it seems like they want to give them some time to pick it up as a team.
And there we go. That is it. The NVIDIA GeForce Cup champions of 2017. They get it. They win that $15,000 in prize money. But not only that, they kind of set the record straight, and they're showing, they've got what it takes to succeed here. Now they've got, other events coming up within the future where they look to try and prove themselves. Is this just the start of their journey? I mean, there are a bunch of happy men here, and we're going to get to see them on a bunch of other stages very, very soon, I'm sure. Look at them with that trophy, and hopefully it could be the first of many to come. I mean, we never know.
Yeah, no, they look very impressive throughout this tournament. Obviously, they do have a test coming up in Cologne as well, which I think will be the first time we get to properly see what they have to offer. But this was still a good performance from them, and they get to also have a chance to retain that trophy next year as well. So maybe Kingwin